Hello, and welcome back to a very, very, very special episode of the Pickle Jar Podcast. So pull up a seat, take a bite, and get ready to dive into that brine for episode 28 of the Pickle Jar Podcast. My name is Ryan Sullivan.
And my name is Keaton Ashby.
Alright guys, we've got a really fun episode planned for you guys today.
Wait, Ryan.
What?
Why are you in the studio?
Didn't I tell you?
Tell me what?
We have a special guest today.
What?
I told you.
You didn't tell me anything.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Who?
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present our very special guest for today. None other than the one and the only Keaton Ashby.
What?
What's going on? Alright. I'll take it from here.
What?
Oh. I bought it for you. Oh. Oh. It's got little warts on it.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this off because it's hot in here, but so...
Oh no, please keep it on.
No, I don't want to. For our audio listeners, this clip will be on the Instagram, but... So anyway...
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
Hi, Keaton.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm here.
Welcome back to a very special episode of the Pickle Jar Podcast.
I know.
We're in different seats, and we've got a different camera arrangement
We do.
than usual. Look, we've got
Oh,
we got camera one, camera two,
and
three.
three.
Wow.
Oh, I like 3.
I like 3 too.
3's like, whoa, up in your face.
Three is going to have to be a mainstay from here on out.
Yeah,
like whenever we,
honestly.
in fact, I might actually record all our episodes. Well, I would, but you know.
We know how it goes.
Yeah. So, what do you think? How's it? How Keaton? How does it feel to be back for the short amount of time that you're here?
It feels absolutely amazing to be inside of here and recording a podcast.
Oh, man. Now, we may have already recorded one podcast tonight.
We have special guests.
We may have. Who knows? Which you guys will see that in about a month. But
and it may be like a great episode.
oh, it's a very good episode. It's one of my favorites so far, but I have a feeling like this one's going to be better.
Probably. It's
Because-
I'm getting some tropical vibes right now.
Some tropical vibes. It is already 1:10 in the morning, and if you can't tell, we've got the night episode roll up right here.
Yeah, we do.
This is my favorite lighting. We even made the lamp warm. We
Yeah,
made
we
the
did.
lamp look
It's
warm.
warm.
So guys, we've got a very special episode planned for you guys today, and because it's so special, I've had this. Get in that camera. Get in that. I've
in
had this for about 2 years now, and every time we sit down to record a podcast, I haven't been able to find this. Oh. I've been looking for it forever, and I cleaned my room finally. It's all done. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to save this for when Keaton comes to town, which you'll hear the whole story on the next live episode of Keaton coming to town.
Yeah, it's like Santa.
Yeah. I think we should just dispense with the pleasantries and kind of dive in.
I think we should dive into the brine.
Oh, it's time. It's time to dive into that brine. We're going to open up the jar, and Keaton, you being my special guest for today, I think the honor is all yours to open up this very...
Grip it hard.
Okay.
All right. Oh, no.
Let's let it permeate. Ooh, those are spicy.
Oh, they are spicy. What in the world?
I've never eaten any of these, and they're probably
old.
At the point where they should not be consumed by humans.
Yeah.
We don't want a repeat of the last live episode with Anthony.
The juicings.
Oh man! If you guys haven't seen that episode yet, that
was a very good episode.
That is one of my favorite episodes, and no one has claimed the prize for the sweepstakes yet. Yeah. So,
wow! My goodness!
You should probably go and do that.
Oh my goodness! That's like
it's really filling up the room, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my goodness! That was like a bomb that just went off.
Yeah. It's stimulating the senses in order. In order.
We had like a pickle bunker buster just come through here.
Pickle bunker buster.
Oh man, we're showing you all the label. Well, oh, there is no label.
No, we're not. I removed that label because that is specifically the jar.
This is the.
That's the Binks. That's the Binks right there.
We gotta freeze this somewhere, all right? This is the jar.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the very first jar.
No, it's not. The very first jar has been eaten a very long time ago.
Thrown away.
Yeah.
Wow, that's just sad.
Well, because the very first
that's
jar,
just sad.
the very first jar was were eater pickles.
Yeah.
Those were pickles that were.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the same jar from I believe it's the same jar from Sasquatch and Self-Isolation.
All right, close enough. Episode 2.
Which, yeah, close enough. Which I know that's not the same jar that we used here in the beginning when we first started in the studio with Tro Pickle vibes. But
yeah.
That is, I know for a fact that's the same jar from every Zoom episode where I've had the jar.
Oh, that's cool. It's got some age to it.
Yeah, it's finely aged pickles.
Yeah, it's like wine. It's better with age.
I don't know if that's true. We'll have to fact check that.
I'm not.
When do pickles expire?
Here's what I found.
Do pickles go bad? Let's see. We're gonna look this up really quick.
Sure, it's got an expiration date on it.
Let's see. How long do pickles go bad? Let's cut to the chase. The answer to this question is possibly eventually, but probably not before you have a chance to eat them. In other words, pickles stay safe to eat for a very long time, regardless of what the Best By date says. While we're on the subject, it's worth that Best By and sell by dates have actually no bearing on the safety of a food product. Let's see. Yeah, so they're especially hardy. They should be good.
Hardy.
Yeah.
They're hardy.
Well, because it's highly acidic and uber salty brine that makes pickles possible was once the go-to method for preserving foods of all types.
Yeah,
which is
true.
why pickling exists in the first place.
Yes.
So.
Well, there you all have it.
Bang,
all right. It's been a
pop.
great episode.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this very special episode of The Jar. Be sure to tune in to Bite Size next week, every Thursday.
Maybe.
We're going to do every Thursday.
Cool.
We're gonna bulk record a couple.
That sounds good.
Eventually. Now,
are we asking each other questions?
I think so. I want to tell you a little bit about the structure of this podcast. Now, so this is going to be a little bit of a different episode. It's not going to be as much of a different episode as what's it called, the McDonald's tier list, which
that was a great episode though.
It was an experimental episode.
I think you guys are going to learn a lot.
That is the only
us.
one that I haven't gone back and rewatched or re-listened to. Yeah. But so we've got 5 levels here to this podcast. So this podcast is going to be basically in 6 different parts. So we've got this part right now, the intro, along with Keaton back at home being snapped out of existence, and the pickle costume, which Keaton had. If you couldn't tell, Keaton had absolutely no idea that the pickle suit was going to be in existence. You know, when I first bought that, I that just came in like less than a week ago.
Perfect timing.
And Cassie immediately asked me, it's like, is that for Jonah? I'm like, no, I'm not going to make the kids vegetables. But, so, this is the pocket guide for deeper conversation. There's 5 different levels to it, from anywhere to surface talk to all the way at level 5 is present realities. So slowly,
That sounds deep.
As the podcast goes on, what we're going to do is we're going to go up a level. And we're going to start off with just the small talk and the little things that can kind of lead to a conversation, but not so much. And then we'll slowly get into family stuff and stuff about the future, where everything's going and all that, because I think this is a very big transitional phase. Really for everybody. What I've noticed, especially recently, a lot of things have been changing in a lot of people's lives. And it's, I don't know, I think it's time to discuss some of these things.
Yeah, I do too. I think you guys are gonna learn a lot about us tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna probably know more.
We're gonna learn a lot about us tonight.
Yeah. Okay, so these are some of the little surface level things. Now, first question that I have for you, Keaton. Is
this like you're asking me, or
yeah,
I'm asking both of us?
Well, I'm gonna ask you, and then I can answer,
Okay.
and you can pick a question and all that sort of thing.
Sounds good.
All right, so this one's probably pretty easy for you, but what is something that you're looking forward to right now?
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Well, I am getting married in March of 2022, so that is something I am looking forward to.
March 2022. It seems like 2022 is like such a far off, distant year, but it's literally in just a few months.
It is. Holy crap!
It's August. Well, when we're recording this, it is currently August the 20th.
So 7 months away.
Yeah.
7 months away.
Holy moly, cannoli, Bartoli. But yeah, honestly, I am really looking forward to the wedding as well, because, well, for a couple reasons. Number one, I am honored to have the position that I have.
Yes.
So, which
well, you should feel honored because it's in the title.
What?
It's in the title.
What's in the title?
The honorings. You're an honor.
Your honor?
Your honor.
I'm honored?
Yes, you are honored.
I'm a judge.
Yes.
Oh. I thought we are called not to judge. Judge not, or you yourself shall be judged.
Okay, past that point. But yes, Ryan is going to be the best man.
Yeah, so, yeah, you can clap now. It's fine. So my speech is going to be an hour and a half long, and I am just
I think we're
recite.
limiting people to like 6 minutes for speeches.
Yeah, well, I started
you
writing.
are special though. Mm-hmm. I will allow you like 15.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna write it. it's all. I began writing it like the night the night that I was talking to Marley about tuxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Which was you didn't tell me that I was your best man. Like, I knew, but like you didn't tell me. Marley told me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I remember like not too far ago, but every time we've talked about it, we're like, yeah, when we get married, we're gonna be best man.
Yeah. No. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Also, I haven't traveled in forever. So I
wonder why. So yeah.
So, what is one thing that you really like about social media?
What is one thing I like about social media?
Yeah, what's something that you like about social media? I can answer it if
you like.
What I'm gonna do?
I'm gonna say you can stay in contact with your friends.
Yeah, that's a really big one. Like being able to stay in contact with people, because I don't know what would have happened to this if it were not for social media.
That is true.
Well, actually, no. I know exactly what would have happened. Would have been dead on arrival. Like, but I mean that's a fairly common one. But for me, what I like so much about social media is the advertising capabilities.
Yeah.
About how easy it is to advertise and like kind of make a name for yourself on places, because I think I've talked about so many times about how I yearn to entertain, and it is so easy for someone to. It's like there's tons of hard work involved, of course, but especially in this day and age, you can go viral in the niche that you exist in. I don't really know if going viral really exists anymore, which that might be a topic for later in the podcast. But yeah, that's what I like about social media. But on that flip side, what's something that you don't like about it?
Screw it. Cancel culture.
Yeah, well, we had a long discussion about cancel culture on Steel Toe Flip Flops, which is my favorite episode of Bite Sized. If you haven't listened to Bite Sized yet, you should head your way over to some of the audio platforms and listen to some of the other episodes, because we've got some exclusive content over there for our audio listeners only, which, of course, you don't have to listen to it.
But you can if you want. You'll find some great knowledge.
Yeah, I'm going to highly recommend it, because there are some things that you can't do and or say on YouTube. We've got the content that's too hot for the tube. So with that being said, what I don't like about social media is definitely people get so attached into their online presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like people will always act different around different people. Like you're going to talk different around your boss than what you're going to talk to your mom. You're going to talk different to me than we talk on the podcast. Similar, but they're things we're not going to discuss.
Yeah.
Mostly things about the podcast and planning the podcast. We only ever discussed about planning the podcast during the live episode.
True.
But people have their online persona versus real life, and it gives people a warped sense of reality, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say so.
You want to flip through and find what you think our next question should be?
Yeah.
We should pass this off, and
pass it off
try and stick to level 1 for right now. But if you find a good one, and while the other is answering, the other picks out a question.
All right, here's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be a character in any book or movie, who would you be?
3, 2, 1. Arth. I thought we were going to answer together. I thought that's what we were going to do.
I thought it said book or movie.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I'm cheating for this one. Video game, Arthur Morgan. Oh, wait, no. I don't want to be Arthur Morgan.
Yeah, you want to live that life?
No, I don't. Wait, let's see.
I don't.
Let's see. Book or movie?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's stick to book or movie, because
that's the question. There's too many video game characters. I think... I'm trying to think of books that I've read recently. So it has to be a fictional character.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would just be extremely fun to exist in the Star Wars universe. Like, I'd prefer to be a Force wielder, but existing within the Star Wars universe would probably be my best bet for that question.
Wow.
What do you think, sir?
If I would be in a book or a movie, TV show count?
Yeah, we'll go with TV show. It's our podcast. We do what we want.
That's true. I'd probably say Savage Opress. Except for I would do things a little bit differently.
Yeah, not be...
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so Keaton, what is a current pet peeve of yours?
You don't really grind my gears.
What really grinds your gears, Keaton?
People make noises when they eat. Like,
really?
Like when they're like...
Oh, I bet...
Or like when people take like a big gulp and they're like...
Oh,
like oh, man.
Like that?
Okay, that doesn't bother me because I guess
there was a comedic factor to it.
Well, not that, just that is I was expecting it. It's like when people like unintentionally do it.
Oh,
like if I'm eating and I'm sitting somewhere and just people are just like smacking their lips and stuff. That really
no, I understand that.
That makes me just want to like take a fork and like stick it through their freaking throat and rip it out and just have blood squirt everywhere and then just
I don't know.
beat their
It's-
head in until there's nothing left.
It's never like entirely bothered me.
Well,
That's the thing. I've never really quite.
have you been on the spectrum before?
No.
Well, apparently that's like a thing.
Oh, okay. Well, for me,
And Wesley has his theory.
Ryan hates
When
hypocrites and people who talk in the third person.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a.
I hate when people are really hypocritical, like super hypocritical, because I mean,
There's only like one type of hypocrite.
what? There's
Nothing.
only one time. Okay.
No, I can't
It's
say it.
it's difficult to
I cannot pronounce words.
It's difficult to say
Hypocrites.
without mentioning specific people, but people who will next question. People who will talk about so many like, hey, this I it's like you should do this, and that, and then they're living their life in the complete opposite direction. It's the complete whole do as I say, not as I do, and it's like so, you know.
Yeah.
But we can move on to level 2 if we're ready to get there, because we're already 20 minutes in.
Yeah, we'll move on.
and then-
to level 2.
People who talk in the third person, there is very specifically, I feel like I've talked about this in the podcast before. I had a teacher in 7th grade who she would always talk in the third person. She would constantly say, well, Mrs. So-and-so thinks that this, and it just drove me up a wall.
It grinded your gears.
It was like sandpaper to my brain. It was smoothing out the wrinkles. And I felt myself getting progressively dumber every time this woman spoke. And it's not good when a teacher does that to you,
Yeah.
I would say.
I found a really good one.
Is this in level 2?
Yeah, it is. In level
All right, here, level 2 graphic. I'm going to put graphics in this. This is going to be tons of fun. A little theme song, a little stinger.
What's one quirk that most people don't know about you?
Oh, that
this
is
a
so difficult.
stickler.
That is so difficult.
It's a little
Do you have anything for that?
I have to think about that. I don't know. I
Because-
gave you time to think about that question.
So, here's the thing. I really don't know, because I don't know what people don't notice. I know a quirk about myself that I kind of like notice constantly is that little like laugh thing that I do.
Nervous
I've
laughter.
been told that I haven't been doing it as much often.
No, you don't do it.
Cassie had brought it up to me that my stutter has almost completely gone away too.
Yeah, you don't.
Um,
I think you've grown out of it.
I think I've
'Cause,
completely grown out of
like
it.
3 years ago, like if you were put into like a situation, like a I don't know, kind of like an awkward situation, and you're like a little bit nervous, then you would do the little laugh. But now it's like
Which
gone.
it's so weird because I'd been on the stage my entire life, and never started
there's
on
one.
stage.
Most people don't know, but I'm an actor.
oh yeah, you would not expect it from looking at you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wear my life on my sleeve.
I don't.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Yeah.
But I there's not many things that people don't know about me. My favorite vegetable is broccoli. I love carrots,
I know things about you.
but I hate steamed carrots. Like most people
Okay, that's stupid, though. We gotta
prefer
get
raw
deeper.
carrots.
This is
I know-
level
Well, I
2.
mean, this is like, I don't know. That's a quirk that people don't know about me
Yeah,
because it's not like common, I guess.
Next
'Cause-
question.
Okay. What's a favorite memory that you have from your childhood?
No, childhood. When would you agree with me that childhood is 1 through 12?
I would say that, yeah.
Okay. I would. Oh man. I would definitely say, eating at Grinders in Canton, Ohio.
Now, what is that?
It's a restaurant
Uh,
that sells grinders,
oh.
which are
You-
subs, if you don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. You told us this on the first Anthony episode, if I remember correctly.
That's what a grinder is.
Now, one of the things I loved doing as a kid, my grandparents lived in Hammock Bay, which, for those of you who don't know, this is a country club right outside of the town that I currently live and the town that Keaton used to live in. It's a country club, and they had a pool with like a little restaurant there.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go over there like just about every Sunday, and I spent a lot of time like just anytime either my grandparents were over or when I went over to my grandparents' house, because it was always just that fun atmosphere because Cassie would play the organ. My grandparents bought a Wii, so that we would like come over there, which they didn't have to. We would have come over there anyway, but it was just like that whole thing of I loved my grandparents. They're really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had more time with them, but it was their time, so it's like that whole ordeal.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a pool either. I've never had a pool. That's a quirk. I live in Florida and I don't have a pool. I'm like one of the only people. But our pool, there's a room where the pool was supposed to be. We put a pool table in there. It's the pool room. But yeah, going over to my grandparents' house, swimming in the pool, and playing Wii. And my grandpa introduced me to Arnold Palmer's, which we all know is my favorite drink.
I love Arnold Palmer's. Here we go. How would you describe your personality?
Oh, I think you said it best earlier. I think bodacious.
Bodacious. That was a joke.
I think no, like this is something that I think of a lot because I kind of got into a weird habit of where I consider people's perception a lot. So of like who I am, and that's something I have to get away from. Sometimes it's like I'll think that I'm annoying or anything, but I think that I'm loud and I think I'm funny as well. At least I hope I'm funny. I mean, I was fat for most of my life, so I better be funny. Like I had to compensate, you know.
You do make a good point. That's the only way how thick boys survive.
Mm-hmm.
Survival of the thickest.
How would you describe your personality?
Unbearable.
Bearable?
No, unbearable.
Unbearable, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I
think that certain person nailed it right on the head.
So here's the thing that I would say for you.
Unpredictable.
You kind of are the wild card, but you have a very, very tough exterior, and like there are tons of people I know that were like intimidated by you at first.
Oh, who would I ever intimidate?
Like, I mean,
don't come off as threatening or anything.
I mean, well, in your line of work, which is
well, we already used schools.
We used school on the next episode.
My line of work.
Lawn care.
Yes.
Lawn care.
Trimming the hedges.
Yeah, in the lawn care business, you have to be tough because you got to deal with a lot of tough clients about people.
Yeah, people with their little thorn bushes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Man, then Martha comes outside and chases you with her cane, and she's
and
yelling and screaming about how.
And sometimes you'll
the
run
little
over
birds live in that tree that you're trimming.
And you'll run over dog crap while you're cutting the lawn, and it gets everywhere and all that.
Oh my goodness! it won't come out.
Yeah. What was the question?
The point was, you say I'm hard on the outside.
Yeah, you're hard on the outside.
But truly on the inside.
You've got a soft and gooey interior, like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but he's been fried.
Yeah, but how does that describe my personality?
What?
How does that describe my?
That's your personality.
I'm just the M&M. I'm just an M&M to you.
You're an M&M, yeah.
I'm just an M&M to you.
peanut M&M. Because
Wow.
you pull back the hard outer shell, you got the rich, creamy interior, and then there's a nugget inside.
You're a melted piece of caramel chocolate. Like there's like with the caramel filling. You're a melted piece of chocolate that has caramel on the inside.
I don't know how to take that. Well, how would you describe my personality? Like if someone was like, "Well, who's Ryan?" It's like, how would you describe me?
Entertaining.
You don't need
Very
just one
entertaining.
Word. You don't just. Oh, do you only need that one word?
Yeah, honestly, that I feel like that fills in everything.
So I don't know. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's good enough. Now I want this to be the next question. What song brings back good memories of a past event? And be specific.
You already know.
Yeah, go ahead and tell the people at home.
I forget. What's it called? Like Old Earth or something?
Less Words by Old Earth.
Yeah.
Which, if you guys don't know, it is this song. And this is the song that I used in a ton of my vlogs back on the Sully Gunthers. So, I mean, that actually wasn't the first song that came to mind for me. Which I've got quite a few.
I'm just saying that song really just captured that entire
era.
Time of life.
That entire era, which that is a big song on that list.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of like important, impacting stuff in our lives happened during that time.
And shown and conveyed by that song.
Yeah.
That song specifically, which it's such a good song. Like all I can think.
We're only on level 2, but it's getting deep.
No, all I can think of when I hear that song is the end of the hurricane vlog.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if anyone noticed it, but if you go back and watch the Hurricane Irma vlog, you'll notice when the hurricane hits, the music completely cuts out. There's no music until after the hurricane leaves. And there was a point in the vlog where what I did was there's a time lapse of the southern eye wall and until the winds completely calm down, where you can see that. And there's a bunch of radio static, and it sounds like someone's tuning to a radio, and then you start to hear very distorted the song come back in, where you hear the dun 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 dun. It starts to come in, but it's like muffled, and it sounds like it's coming through a car radio or something like that. And then finally the storm has subsided, and then it's the next day. It's the day after the hurricane. And the song is then ever persistent throughout the rest of the vlog. It was I kind of based it off of Castaway. You know Castaway with Tom Hanks, right?
Yes, of course.
So
that is a classic.
Castaway has no music from the moment Tom Hanks lands on the island until he gets back. There's no music the entire time that he's casted away. And the music comes back in the last scene where he's deciding which way to go after with the FedEx package, right? And that was something I love the use of music in cinema, which I just wish I was better at. Who's delivering something at 2 a.m? Almost. What the heck?
That's a good question.
Anyway,
that's what I was just wondering.
Yeah, but that's something that I really like. But so that song, I got another. which is Glitch Mob remix of Seven Nation Army, because
Good
of the
times.
Battlefield days.
Yeah.
And then now one that doesn't pertain to you at all is the song Happy Trails by Van Halen. Do you know the song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's like a bombadita, 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 happy trails to you until we meet again. So the pastor before the current one at Wesley United Methodist Church, Pastor Kirk, on his last Sunday with us, so I was running sound at that point. He had me play a song as he walked out on stage, walked off the stage and out of the sanctuary, never to step foot back in again. So he played. He said he did the benediction. It's like, thank you all so much for being my home for these past few years. It's like, it has been an honor being your pastor. It's like, I've got one more thing I want to do before I leave, and that's this. And then he points to me, and then I hit play, and he's just walking out with that song playing. And it was great because it so perfectly encapsulated his time there. It was very nice.
That's
But
fun.
Looks like you got another question for me, Keaton.
Yeah, it looks like I went down to level 3.
We're moving along fast. I feel like we're going to have to give long answers for some of these.
Well, okay. How about this question? What's one area of your life you fear significantly messing up?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's deep.
So I've got a couple things. I'm going to say one that isn't as deep, but then I can push it off to you, and then I can come back to it if we want to do it like that.
We can try that.
But
I mean, I think so then.
Main thing. The first thing that comes to mind. So I make sound live for live TV. It's not like this where if suddenly I go, I can fix it in post. Like, it's not like that. Like, if something messes up on live TV, like if I don't unmute before going live or something and it messes up, I mess up the show for that day. It's like I could make everything sound terrible, and it's kind of like there's no fail safe if I mess up. It's damage control if I mess up, not a fail safe. So that's something that's not. I don't really know how I could like significantly mess up in that, but I mean that's something that like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm just like, but I have so much fun doing it, so it's not really that stressful until stressful situations happen with people and stuff, you know. But so what about for you, Keaton?
I could say my job, but I really I don't really fear that much about it. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of fear in things. I guess what I could mess up, I guess my relationship.
I don't really think there's much you could do. I don't think she's going anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really fear that either.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything I fear that I'm gonna significantly mess up or like even have the opportunity to.
So to get a little bit more of a somewhat serious and existential answer.
A level 3 answer.
To give more of a level 3 answer, I fear like messing up and wasting my time.
Ooh.
Because
Ooh, that makes it juicier.
Here's the thing. We are not on this earth forever. We are not on this planet forever. Now, we may have eternal life, but the time that we have here is very finite, and in the grand scheme of things, very short. For all we know, we could die tomorrow.
Yeah,
We could die. Someone could walk through that door and shoot us both right now.
That would be
I mean,
like an excellent podcast. on live leaks.
Someone just runs in dressed as a Joker and says, "You're awful, Keaton and Ryan."
Gats us down with the Uzi.
Because I feel like actually, this will probably be an answer for a question later on, but so I'll kind of skip over that. But I fear like doing a perfect quote. I actually had a sermon on this from Dwight L. Moody. I do not fear failure. I fear to succeed at something that doesn't matter, because failure is the greatest teacher. As Thomas Edison said, it's like I failed 1,000 times before I invented the light bulb. Mm-hmm. It's like you have to fail in order to learn. There's no learning without failure.
Yeah.
And usually succeeding is seen as a good thing, but doing things that not just in the grand scheme of things, but even in the day to day don't matter, like at all. Because like there's a huge difference between doing hobbies that really aren't going to go anywhere, and then to just like sleep your life away or whatever.
Yeah.
Not even sleep, just lay around and not do anything. Not just because you're not tired, not just because you're tired, but because you just aren't doing anything else.
Yeah, I guess you could say like not living your life for God.
Yeah. Not living your life for purpose.
Yeah.
For the purpose that we were designed for.
Purpose.
And glorious purpose. But like not just that, but I mean we're also supposed to enjoy our life while we're here. Or else what would be the point in giving it to us? Because I mean he could just have people who worship him constantly. Like, yes, we're supposed to worship him, but we're also supposed to enjoy it while it lasts.
Supposed to spread that great
news. That's the whole point. Yeah. So
to you.
Now, do you have a different answer for that, or do you have anything? Here we go. This one's going to be interesting. Are you sure this is level 3 and you didn't skip directly to level 4?
This is level 3.
Okay.
You see the little 3-5?
What is one part of growing old that scares you?
Soiling myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having someone else clean it up.
Yeah. There was a Simpsons episode where it was actually pretty good. There was a Simpsons episode.
Just put a cork in it.
Where there was like this was like a modern Simpsons episode too, where the whole thing was there was this like a technical school where it was training people for the jobs of the future, and it turned out that so they were training like the uber smart, like to do like cool things like Martin and Lisa and all that.
Yeah.
But whereas like Bart and Milhouse and all those people, it seemed at first they were just training them to do gig jobs like Uber Eats and stuff like that. But it turned out the algorithm told them what their job of the future was, and all of it was elder care. It's just now. You do what you do in the lawn care, but what scares me the most about growing old is, so my parents had me later in life.
Yeah.
Right? My mom died at 52 years old, and my dad is currently 65. And so my grandparents, I remembered when they turned 80 when I was fairly young. So I watched my grandparents slowly get older. And now, so in hindsight, this wasn't entirely the case, but there was one time quite a few years ago now, it was like probably like 6 years ago, I think. no, I want to say it was 2017, early 2017 or 2016. And my grandma had fallen and broken her hip. And she was very delirious at this moment. She was in Lily Palms nursing home. And my dad and my aunt, so my dad's sister, were... I was there to go visit my grandma, and they were there arguing over a bunch of different things about the care she's getting, about what's going to happen, about what the game plan is, a ton of different stuff. My grandma was completely out of it. And then I'm sitting there, and suddenly I have this realization, like, holy crap, that's going to be me and Cassie one day. Standing there arguing. I thought that there was going to be that point where we were going to be arguing over my mom. Now that didn't happen, but it could still very well happen to a point where I'm arguing with Cassie about a nursing home for my dad. And then the second part of that hit me was, not only am I going to be the one standing over the bed, but there's a strong possibility that I'm going to be the one in the bed when I'm older.
Yeah.
So my grandma, she died of Alzheimer's. Well, really, she died of a broken heart, but she barely recognized anybody towards the end, right? And that scares me. Like, not being able to recognize the face of my own children when they come in. That's what scares me the most about growing old, is that seeing your parents get old and then realize that that's going to happen to you. Unless you die early. So.
Or the rapture happens.
Yeah, that too. Well, is there anything other than soiling yourself that you're scared about, for other than pooping your pants, doing a little tinky
I don't
winky?
fear death, so.
Oh. Well, no, it's not death that I fear, because when you're dead, we're good. Like, it's like I fear the process of dying, like, not death itself, because death has lost its sting. The grave has no hold.
There you go, Ryan.
So, yeah. Let's see.
I don't know. I feel like these questions aren't that juicy.
Here, let me see. Oh, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that one.
Found a juicy one.
If you could erase one health problem from the world, what would it be, and why? Also, I'm putting an addendum on the end of that. So, Keaton, what would you say?
What one health problem I would get rid of? Oh man, I feel like it would have an effect where it'd like screw everybody's world up. Though.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Like like the natural
Because
Darwinism that goes on.
Here's the thing. People die.
People get eliminated from the gene pool.
Sometimes
it's good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agreed with that way too fast. No, it's like a thing. The thing is, humanity will only survive to a certain point at the rate we're going. And like
okay, you know what?
What?
Like Alzheimer's / dementia, because I feel like that's not the way to go.
That's not the way to go, because Alzheimer's doesn't it does kill you eventually.
Yeah, you can give me cancer.
Like, because here's the thing.
That's just not the way to go.
Cancer is the number one killer. Like, or aside from like heart disease and stuff. Yeah. People have to die. I mean, there's
people do have to die.
But have to eventually die.
People rather die knowing their family than not knowing them.
See, now what I was going to say, which I'm changing my answer to yours, but a close second would be coronavirus as a whole, because if coronavirus didn't exist, none of this would have happened. Like, none of this whole thing that how it was blown into proportion, how the whole mask thing, and now the whole vaccine thing, and all this way and that way and up and down and left and right and all that.
Yeah.
It would have just been much easier if it never happened. So with that, I want to do that one next.
For the next question here, we
Yeah.
have, what is one way you want to change as a person over the next year or two?
Well,
Question mark.
Let's see. Gotta clear my iPhone notifications really quick. Just give me a moment. For those of you who are on video, you have to be 170 pounds by 12/31/21. No excuses. I'm going to lose some more weight. That's one way I want to change. Number 2, I want that little laugh thing to be completely gone, like never come back.
I think it is gone.
Yeah. I caught myself, and
I'm just gonna throw you in like a very like nerve-wracking situation and see what happens.
yeah. Well, Jordan picked up on it, so
Maybe like meeting new people.
no. But
It depends on who.
then also, those are just like not superficial things,
Yeah.
but also I want to grow in my faith a ton.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I have a video that I'm going to record for the next the new generation. I've got a little 12-minute sermon that I have prepared about it's called The Necessity of Faith. Now, you've heard my testimony on the What's in the Sky podcast, which I think that was beautifully named because we were talking about UFOs and then we ended up talking, about anything.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, there's a difference between knowing of God, knowing who God is, believing in God, having faith, and then finally having a relationship with Him. Because my relationship with Him is similar to my relationship with, and Alessandro, you know it, Alessandro. When Alessandro's in town, I talk to him, I hang out with him, we have fun. But we don't talk outside of that. We don't talk enough. And I was talking with him last week about that. I'm like, remind me to talk to you more. And I've had little moments where I've been like,
I would 100% agree with you on that.
It's because I'm also surrounded by, I work at Faith Broadcasting. I am surrounded by such faith-filled people who, like, the mantra of their life is Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the evidence of things hoped for, now faith is the evidence of things, substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. There is no need for proof when you have such strong faith, because faith is literally, it's something you can grab onto, and it's the evidence for what you can't see with your own eyes, you know? But you can't see the wind, but you know it's working. It never stops. It never stops working. It never stops. It never stops working. So you could even call it a waymaker, a miracle worker. In fact, you could even go as far to say as a promise keeper, and a light in the darkness.
A light in the darkness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even when you don't see. Okay.
Okay.
Well, what about for you? What's some ways that you want to change in the next year or two?
I agree with you. I would like to be able to go to church more.
See, that's the thing.
It's
I go to
difficult.
church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have saltine crackers and grape juice in my back seat right now, so that I can just like
Whenever it's
Well, he said, "Do this in remembrance of me often," and I'm like, "Often."
Often.
It's like often. So whenever possible. I haven't opened it up yet, and I bought it a month ago. But well, I mean, also I want to pry a little bit here. You're getting married in a few months.
Yeah.
So what are some ways that you think you're going to change over the next year or two? Like, other than that, like not be that whole like youth pastor that walks out there. It's like, guys, my wife is so hot. You know the whole youth pastor thing where they're always like that.
I don't know that. That's kind of weird. You know what? I hope my youth pastor would never do. Well, my youth pastor is a deputy now. Wow, imagine that.
Imagine that.
Well,
Calling all units.
Okay. What were you even talking about before?
Well, how do you think you're going
how-
to change? Like, other than that.
How I think I'm going to change? I think I'm going to become more mature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to learn a lot of things. How to provide for myself. How to provide for others. How to take care of a family. Family of two, but nonetheless still a family.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's more of just like a balancing act of balancing work, family, and then like social life and all that crap.
Wait. I'm trying to think of a word that you could use that starts with F for money. I'm trying to think, like, because finances, family, and faith.
The 3 F's.
The 3 F's. Finances, family, and faith. So you said work, family.
Yeah.
And
Finances, family, and faiths. Yeah.
yeah.
There's
Okay.
3 F's.
Cool. Here.
Well,
do you have another? You have the next question.
I have a level 4 popped up here.
Oh. Yeah, we're an hour in.
Yeah, I was
Holy
gonna say, we
moly,
have a
this
level
is
4.
going by like nobody's business.
Yeah, are you ready for this?
I am ready for this.
This is
I hope that
good.
this is captivating for you guys at home.
Yeah. What's one major conflict you remember from your childhood? Drop the bombshell right there. Let's sleep.
Oh, that wasn't my childhood. Because I was.
Oh, childhood 1 through 2. We should switch it to teenage.
What? We should make it teenage years.
Technically, we're kind of still teenagers.
Yeah, well. So, why don't we do both? It's our podcast. We do what we want.
Yeah.
So, I would definitely say the foamies. I would definitely say I don't make that pickle brine spill on the
Okay, drop it. Drop the news.
as a child, major conflict. So he's gotten so much better at it. And I am so proud of him because he's moved so far. But and he would have never admitted it. But my dad always had anger issues. My parents would fight a lot.
I can understand that a lot.
Yeah, and which, I mean, here's the thing. Looking back, I completely understand where he's coming from. But, I mean, there's just things that if I were in the situation, I would have handled completely differently. And if him now were in those situations, he would have handled completely differently. Because he has learned, because actually, there was one night, I think I was probably 13, so close enough, where there was a strictly verbal fight, and between my parents, and it all started over the stupidest thing. It was
That's how it always is.
It was like asparagus or something. Like, it literally started over like how asparagus was being cooked.
I understand why we're such great friends, right?
And
because we literally have the same life.
And what did I do? No, I was definitely not 13 because this was the same time as the thing that I immediately thought of. You know, we were friends at this point.
Oh. I know.
The first thing that came to mind is this was all happening at a similar time. This was right before, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? They were fighting and all that, and then at one point I was dragged into it to pick sides.
Oh,
and
that's horrible.
I had never yelled at both of my parents before.
I have.
I had never done that before, and I believe that was the only time I had. Other than when my mom's mind started to go, I had yelled at her to try and keep her safe or something. But that time it was, I'm like, neither of you're both wrong in this situation. It's like, I'm dealing with enough right now. It's like, and then I listed off, I'm failing a class right now. It's like I've never failed a class before in my life. I'm staying up until 3 a.m. to try and convince friends of mine not to kill themselves. It's like and then it's like I don't want to be home. It's like I don't want to be home because no matter where I am, there's nothing but stress. And I think there was a play going on at this time. It's like I only enjoy myself when I'm at theater. It's like there is when I'm at theater or when I'm at church, there is no joy. And why? It's like, and I was like yelling at this point, like screaming. It's like, you're the problem. It's like you always try and drag me into it. It's like I want nothing to do with it. It's like I don't ever want to see it. And for me, please work on it. And I slammed my door.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I had never done something like that before, and I never done it since. I've never like actually, I don't think I've ever actually told somebody off other than right then, and it was my parents. And you know what? It worked because from then on out, it slowly began to get better. I mean, it would happen every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, still fairly often, but it wasn't every single day. And then I was able to get through the things that was going on in my personal life, and I was able to start doing better in school because the things in my personal life were doing better. And then, of course, they started to be much more civil, or at least hide it better. And so, yeah, that was...
I would definitely say that that'd be something, like a major conflict in my childhood is my parents arguing.
Yeah.
Which
the thing is, it's
natural.
It's very natural. But, I don't know. With, the thing is, whenever you're in a situation, when your mind isn't like as fully developed, you think that you're the only person going through your situation. Which a lot of times, no one will ever know exactly how you're doing, exactly what's going on. Yeah. I was talking a friend from work. His cousin died on Sunday. And they've been very close since infancy. They're like just about the same age, and he passed away. And he went on to the next phase on Sunday. And he came in on Monday still, and or I think actually it was last Friday. I probably have the timing off for it, but he and we had a long talk on Tuesday about how it's like people will always try and say the perfect thing, and especially when in a religious context, people will. It's like and like us being who we are, we know the scriptures. It's like we know exactly what people are going to say, and then you got people who come out and start saying Romans 8:28. It's like God will work all things together for His good. It's like that is not something that someone who is mourning needs to hear at the moment. It's like they need to hear something comforting, not that it's like, hey, just so you know, your mom died because God wanted her to. That's not.
that is
like,
horrible.
Like, and
wow.
Trust me, I heard that shortly after my mom died.
Wow. Who?
Because that's how you perceive it when you hear it. Because that's not at all their intention.
Yeah.
And then of course you've got that look in people's eyes where they want to try and say the perfect thing. They want to say what they think will make you feel better, but they have no idea how to handle it.
Man, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I called it the look.
Wow.
You know, okay. So
We're only on level 4, question 1.
You are watching this podcast right now. I can guarantee. So this is absolutely nothing against you. But you know who had the most prominent look? Like the look towards me. Your mom. Your mom. The first time that I went over to your house after my mom died, it was like that resided face of, Ryan, there's so many things I want to say to you right now, but I don't know what you need to hear.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Which is
that is exactly
the
how
thing
she
is.
No, that's like her every day,
looking back, I so appreciate where everyone was coming from. Like I literally had ready to copy and paste on my phone. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like on like
mass group chat.
Ding. You know how many times I said that on December 11th?
Appreciate it.
But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's like, it's like, well, how do you expect? Yada yada. And so like, and it's like, all things considered, but yeah. So like, Amy, I am saying absolutely nothing against you in all this. It's like it was perfectly natural. It's like it was just something that at the time I'm just like, she's looking at me. But like in hindsight, I know, and that's what I was talking about with my coworker. But yeah.
I have an even better question, believe it or not. It's question 2 in level 4.
What?
What is one thing you remember a friend doing for you that was really good?
Well, if you think this is such a good question, why don't you answer it first? I feel like I've been talking because you've just been agreeing with me wherever two or more stand in agreement. Okay,
we are agreeing though, because what you said is pretty much exactly what I have. Because we're so we can relate so good to each other because we understand.
Go ahead and articulate your point, because you picked this question for a reason.
Well, no, I just flipped the next question. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a good question.
Well, what is one thing you remember a friend doing for you that was really good?
That was doing something around. Just you sticking around and being my friend.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that's really good because, like, obviously you're like my best friend. So
I'm your best man, actually.
You are my best man. But still, having us started in like the summer between 7th and 8th grade.
Summer between 8th and 9th grade.
For him.
For me.
Wait, no. I was going...
Scratch that. Reverse it. I was going into 8th grade. You were going into 7th grade.
There it is. All right, but still.
Because I remember I was in Heidi's class with Miss Minning. I sat right behind her.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know your brother. It's like, I thought you had an old lady name when I was younger.
From there all the way like up to where we're at right now, it's just our friendship together has been like, it's been a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. It truly has. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's had its ups and it's had its downs.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. What year was that?
Christmas Eve
was
of
that
20.
Was that 2017? No, it couldn't have been.
No,
that had to be 2016.
It was 2016. It was for sure. Christmas Eve of 2016. Me and Ryan had a little breakup.
We had a falling out.
Yeah, imagine that. The dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Timon and Pumbaa had a falling out.
Yeah.
We got downhearted.
How did you feel?
I felt like horrible. I felt like that was the worst moment in my entire life.
So, here's a quirk that no one knows about me. If you give me an ultimatum, I am choosing the opposite no matter what I want to do. And at one point you gave me an ultimatum. And I'm like, all right. I'll see you around.
And he just left.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, we're not friends anymore.
And then
I went to a different school.
And then we went to go talk about it one night, like a few weeks later. And then we talked about it for a while, and then I got so mad I walked out.
Yeah, we just weren't having it.
It's so weird that happened.
Yeah.
But
it built our relationship so much stronger.
Because here's the thing. We had gotten mad at each other for other reasons before.
Yeah.
But
this was like a groundbreaking experience.
This was like the do or die moment.
Yeah.
This
is like burning a bridge.
That was the moment where the movie switches from Act 2 to Act 3. And we're in the sequel right now where you get married. Where in the hero's journey where the attempt has been made but they fail and then they lose something, and then there's that moment where are they going to fall deeper into the rabbit hole or are they going to come back? And I was at the mall about a week before Christmas, and there was a little kiosk there selling flags for a bunch of college football teams. And I saw a flag that said Ohio State. And so I was with Cassie at the time. Actually, I think I was with Cassie and James. This was, no, couldn't have been. I was with Cassie, though. I know that for a fact. Wait, no, I don't know that for a fact. I was with Chris. But I was like, I miss Keaton's family. I didn't know yet if I missed you or not. I didn't know yet if I missed you or not. But I found out fairly quickly that I did.
No, me too.
I had missed your dad. I had missed Amy. I had missed Tristan. I had missed Heidi. I missed Ellie. And a part of me that I didn't know about yet missed you dearly. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give him a little something for Christmas. I'll probably drop it off at the front door and leave. And then Christmas Eve had come around, and I had finished wrapping every present except for one, and it was the Ohio State flag. And I'm just like, I have to be at the church for a Christmas Eve service in 2 hours. So what I was going to do is I was going to walk. So I was going to make a pit stop. I knew that everyone would be there because from Christmas Eve the year prior, I knew everyone would be there. So I figured, okay, I will drop off the gift. I don't know if I'll hang around at all. and then I'll leave. I'll go to church. Needless to say, I had to be picked up because I would not have made it anywhere near in time with how much time had elapsed.
Holy crap, man!
Yeah.
That was an experience.
Yeah,
that was like
I feel like
reconciled.
I've only seen you cry twice.
Okay, let's.
That day.
Yeah. Okay, and let's leave it at that.
And backstage.
You're full of crap. That did not happen.
He lives in you in The Lion King.
I did not cry.
I saw a tear fall. I saw a tear fall. I guarantee.
I was sweating.
Oh, I believe that, but I believe you were also sweating out of your eyeballs.
Screw that crap. All right, what was the greatest thing a friend has did to you that was really good, huh?
Oh.
Huh?
You don't have to answer that question.
I don't know. I'm just so thankful for all the people that I have in my life. Because I'm so blessed. You know, what I just realized, you can see the green lines on R2 Cam 3.
Wait, Ryan, we got to keep it going, man. We're only on the
I feel like this
question of level 4.
This episode is just going to be longer than usual.
Okay,
sorry.
Like the rest of the questions that are coming up are so like.
Okay, all right. We'll go ahead. We'll go with the next one.
What pictures do you like to look at from your past?
I lost most of my pictures.
I'm gonna say not pictures but videos.
Oh yeah, well the vlog footage of course, but I lost most of my pictures because I didn't have them backed up, and back in May, so I was laying sod at Pastor Andre's house, and I had my phone in my back pocket. Now I had tap to wake turned on, so this had been a thing that had happened a few times before, where I left, or I had my phone in my pocket, and my butt cheek would be putting in my passcode, right? So then it would disable the phone. Now I was there from 7 in the morning, and I didn't take my phone back out of my pocket until noon. So my phone had been completely wiped. The only thing that I had saved was the day before I had taken all the vlog footage from the last vlog that was uploaded and put it onto the computer. So the only things that I had saved was whatever was on my last phone backup, which was in January of 2020.
Dang.
No. Yeah, January 2020. Because I found the screenshots that I took on some specific days.
I'm gonna say the picture of me and you with the Sprite bottles at
Drunks.
Dollar General.
I was gonna say drunks. Because that too. That saved because that's my Snapchat memories. The only things that saved were things that were in my Snapchat memories. But now I know this is on a completely different topic altogether, but something that I also lost when I lost all that were all my old voicemails, which is especially bad because I was not one to go in and delete voicemails. So I had 40 saved voicemails from my mom. All of them are gone. Except for one that I had downloaded and saved to Google Drive. So all just gone. All of them. Every once in a while, I would sit for like an hour or so and I'd just listen to all of them in a row. I went to go do that one day about a month ago, and that's when I realized my oldest voicemail was from like May 20th, 2021. All my voicemails were gone. So
That's it.
it was like that moment in Breaking Bad when Jesse, he's trying to call his girlfriend who died, and he like sits there and he listens to her voicemail box like as often as he can, and then just one time he calls and the number's disconnected and he lost it forever. And then did not help that was the episode of Breaking Bad that I watched the next day.
Dang. That's pretty bad.
And that was actually the first time I had cried in a few months.
Everybody needs to cry sometimes.
Yeah. So I know that's not exactly pictures or videos, but audio recording. Yeah. So.
Well, here's our next one.
Oh, on my iPad, I still have photos saved from my trip to Rock City up in Tennessee back in 2013. I like looking at those.
There you go. What is one significant letdown you've experienced?
You want to go first? Because I got quite a few.
Letdown. I feel like I need to think about it more.
Well, I'll just come right out of the gate and just say rejection. Because
yeah.
I mean
There
the thing is you get so caught up in the feelings that you feel at the time, where it's the biggest letdowns would definitely be the ones when it was someone who I was really close to and they did not take it well.
There you go. There you go.
Which we can kind of leave it at that. But the thing is, you kind of get in, which at least I can say this speaking for myself, you get kind of in like a honeymoon phase. And it's like, wow, it's like, this is the perfect situation in my head at the moment. Yeah. And I can't really see anything else. And then you finally like kind of work up the courage, and then turns out that she doesn't feel the same way. Yeah. It's
horrible feeling.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, I've been through it quite a few times, but it feels different every single. I've been through the ringer. It definitely feels different like every time, but because also people will respond in different ways. Mm-hmm. There will be people who respond in a way that a certain person did, or there'll be people who say it's like I really like you as a person, but I just do not see you in that way. And I'm sorry
that's when you get like the.
And then there is the being told later. It's like, if I wasn't in this situation at that time, I probably would have given it a shot.
I've never gotten that one before.
I got that recently. Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay. I was gonna say, wow,
yeah, I'll tell
Mr.
you later.
Man's over here. Oh, look at you, Mr. Special.
Do we want to do what was your favorite day in your past, or one of the best days you remember?
I have like more than one.
Well, I would probably say your best day in recent memory.
Yeah. But like, that's different because most of my best memories are with you, and then
the Minecraft night, the sunrise day,
the
here comes the sun day.
That was amazing.
That was probably one of the best days, of all time.
Yeah, that was the best day of all time.
That was so we probably told the story. There is vlog footage from this day.
Yeah. Also, a day like a couple weeks ago was pretty good as well. But holy crap!
So basically, Keaton and I had sat down. We started playing Minecraft at like 9 that night, and then
it lasted until 6 or
like 5 a.m. rolls around. Yeah. It's like, yo, sun's about to come up. It's like, yo, let's go on my roof and we'll watch the sunrise.
Because we've been up there prior.
Yeah, we had been up there prior, so we climbed up on the roof. We're listening to "Here Comes the Sun" by the Beatles, which is like the only song by them that you actually like.
Yeah.
And then we walked to Subway while reciting the script to Blazing Saddles, and then Chris picked us up from Subway, and then we watched Moana.
Yeah.
You zonked out.
Yeah,
I stayed up until 11 o'clock that night still.
I wasn't having it.
Yeah, but I mean, there's too many to count really. But that's like one that really sticks out.
You know what's funny?
Oh, there was also one time. You go ahead and go first. I'll pick up on.
Oh no, I was just saying I fell asleep until like 8 o'clock, or like I slept through like that next day, and then at like 6 at night I wake up and you're like, you want to hang out? I'm like, yes.
I woke up at like probably noon the next day.
That was some major like.
No, actually, I probably woke up earlier than noon because I did not sleep for 12 hours. I think I probably woke up at like 10.
I slept for a long time. That's funny.
Well, so another one. This was. Wait. This was Veterans Day 2017. I'd gone to Rock the Universe, and no, it wasn't Rock the Universe. It was just the youth group Universal trip because Rock the Universe was canceled because of Irma.
Yeah.
That day in particular, the first day we were there, I won't divulge into all the details, but that day made me happy. And I look back on that day quite a bit. Just from... Now, there were a lot of things that went wrong that day. A lot of things that shouldn't have happened. But I think how I responded in those situations and how I was able to help out people. Because I know also... wait, did Wesley go with us? I might be thinking of a different day when another time when we were in Universal where Wesley was very upset and I just immediately start joking around with him and then he's fine and not too long. I think I want to say that was the same day, but I don't think it was. But we spent most of the day, we spent the whole day in Universal Studios, and then we went to Disney Springs when it closed, and I was just hanging out, having a good time. I had there's this like street food, the Asian street food place in Disney Springs had bao tacos. Oh man, tell ya, those were the best.
Top of the line.
Top of the line. I haven't picked out a question in a long time, Keaton.
You can pick your questions, man.
Okay.
I'm just saying I gotta get home soon.
Okay. Oh, do you have any securities that you've carried throughout your life?
Obviously.
Like?
Wait.
Oh, yeah. I really only realized...
Also my double chin.
I really only realized how insecure I was about my weight when I first started to lose weight.
Yeah.
I realized how insecure that I was about it, because I was insecure about it.
Well, when I tried to pick up women and they were like, no, you're ugly, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, so there was a while where I was fairly depressed, and from that I had picked up some bad hygiene. And I was.
I've always been on top of that.
Yeah, no, I know.
That is something
I know.
that I will never.
You pride yourself on that, but I was at a point where I had stopped showering for a while because I was like that down deep.
Oh, that's pretty deep.
That was at the height, the worst it was.
Yeah.
So ever since then I've been very insecure about just my hygiene in general, because the habits still have had the difficulty, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
See? I don't know the answer to that.
The priest.
We've talked about this one a few times, about a world memory. You have a world event that you have a significant memory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one is going to be difficult to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's see. I feel like we've done that one.
I feel like we need to enter into...
What's the hardest you've ever cried?
Oh, gosh. This is kind of silly. Watching The Notebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That was
the Notebook?
That was Ryan, you don't understand. You don't understand. That was the hardest I've ever cried in my entire life. Like, I could not stop it.
What is the Notebook even about?
An old couple where the wife gets, like, dementia.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was, like, just a regular love story.
No, you gotta watch it. That's so embarrassing to say, but it's honestly true. If I'm being honest, that's the hardest I cried. Like,
I would say the hardest I ever cried was probably the moment that I reached out of the denial stage, and I had to pull over and I cried on the side of the road for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That, or when I scraped my knee walking back to the hotel when I was at Disney when I was 5. Like, that was bad. Like, I had never cried that much before. And, like, in hindsight, it didn't hurt.
4.12, we got to make it the...
Well,
I skipped
5. Quite a few. Because, I mean, what was something you were afraid of as a child? Like, oh. Like,
yeah, that's stupid.
Oh, what's one decision that you made that required a lot of courage?
Moving to Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd say quitting my job and going to Faith Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Because
both of those events happened at like the same time.
That's the event that I'm talking about. Oh, both of our events that took a lot of courage.
both of our events happened at
well, because so here's the thing. I loved working for Marco Wall Supply.
It's our what are the events called? The cataclysmic events.
Nexus event.
Yeah, those are our Nexus events.
Oh yeah, we almost had a Nexus event back the Christmas Eve. That's what that was. That was the Nexus event. Yeah, but anyway.
I just got goosebumps.
Ooh. But we didn't kiss on a beach or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we were naked in a tent for a time. But
there
was
an area of time.
There was a small window of time, but anyway.
Yeah. What was your courage answer?
Because I mean, I loved working for the Hive and I loved working at Mark Waff Supply, but the thing is, there wasn't much I could go from there. Like, yes, raises, but really the only like opportunity for advancement was if I was been a salesperson.
Yeah. Up
in Naples, and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Definitely if you don't want to do something, then
I didn't want to do that at all.
There you go.
And like literally, this is what I do. This is what I do at Faith Broadcasting. I record podcasts. I mix audio live. I edit videos. Like literally everything that we do on the podcast that I do for fun is what I do at work. Like, and I'm with some of the greatest people I've ever met, aside from you, of course. But
how sweet.
Like I'm with some
how
of.
Sweet.
It's like I'm with some of my favorite people in the whole world that I like. All these people I consider family at this point. And I've only been there for a few months, and it's like, I don't know, it's great. It's great. And also they've been standing in the gap for you too, because you left me.
I'm sorry. It's not my fault.
Let's get a close up of this really quick.
Level 5.
Because it is an hour and a half in.
We're at present realities.
To level 5.
I can't wait to crack open the
realities.
first question.
It's time for me. Let's see.
What do you wish your parents understood better about you?
I don't have parents.
I kind of don't answer that question because they understand me. Because they are me and I am them. Well, I am them. Well, I am my father, so my mother understands me, and my father understands me.
I'm a weird mix of both of my parents. So they had diametrically opposed personalities, and that created me into the person that I am today, which makes me a very interesting person. But I think my dad understands me pretty well. I don't have.
I think you're a lot like your dad.
Yeah, I'm a lot like my mom too.
It's almost like you're their kid.
Yeah, it's weird. Cassie is much more like my dad though when it comes to, because she's an instigator. So is my dad, which I think my level of understanding with my dad is perfect. I don't really think there's any more that he needs to understand about me. Like there's no issues there. I will never start an OnlyFans because I have a very good relationship with my father.
That one's not that deep.
Yeah, how would you describe your current religious or non-religious beliefs?
Christian.
Yeah. What is one honest confession from this past week? What? What is an honest confession from this past week?
I can't tell it on the podcast for legal reasons. Because it happened at my job.
Oh. Well, I'll be honest. Picked up a hitchhiker yesterday.
Oh.
And he didn't try and kill us.
There you go.
He didn't try and kill us.
We brought a man who was intoxicated to his humble abode.
Now, yeah, no, I don't want to say that. I don't really want to say anything honest. Like, I'll tell you about it later. But
yeah,
like,
well, you got two things to tell me after the podcast now.
Yeah. All right.
Do you think people can change or are born a certain way and can't be any different?
No.
No.
So this is the thing of Calvinists versus just about everybody else. People can definitely change.
Yeah.
It's nature versus nurture.
Like,
now there are some people who.
Number one example.
There are some people.
Saul
is the best example. Saul was Jewish, and he was persecuting Christians in the early days of the church, and he was
killing.
He was genocide, literal genocide.
Mass, like the Hitler of the time.
Yeah, he was committing mass genocide.
Well,
and
Hitler should be called Saul.
Yeah. Then, all of a sudden, Jesus appears to him, and he completely turns his life around, and he writes, what is it, like 3/4 of the New Testament?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, he
did more to spread the gospel in his life after that than any of us could ever hope to achieve.
Yeah.
That's because we literally use
the prime example.
We literally use his teachings in order to do that. And
we just use his example to answer our question.
Which I mean also my mom was actually, she had a book idea.
Ooh.
Which I informed her that it was the plot of The Boys in Brazil.
I don't know what that basically is, and I don't want to know.
It was going to be a book series where there were groups of clones made of the worst people in history. Clones of Ed Gein, Charles Manson, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, Genghis Khan, or whatever. Like all these people that they have the DNA of, that there were clones made of them, and they would be put into different areas of the world, and it would follow each of their stories, like them growing up. Kind of like a mixture of Boys in Brazil and Clone High, like to see how much is it in their nature. It's like, what would happen if Hitler's father wasn't abusive?
What would happen if he got accepted into art school?
Yeah. What would happen if his mom wasn't?
That's a nexus event.
What would happen if Hitler's mom wasn't actually his dad's second cousin, and like a 40-year age difference? Yeah. All those type of things. Like, what would have happened if this wasn't like this? It's like, are people predisposed? I don't think so. Yeah. I think people are naturally good, or at least naturally neutral.
I think people are natural sinners.
Well, but no. What I mean is, like, people will not naturally be evil, because
I think there's some people out there that are made or like
because
born
that's
evil.
They weren't born that way, but that's how they were brought up because of their circumstance. Well, with some extenuating circumstances.
Exceptions.
Who would you say is exceptions?
I'd say there's definitely some people like that were like born evil, like mad, like the Antichrist. He's
that's not quite a person.
Well, it is.
It is that's not what I mean.
It's a him.
It's not what I mean.
It's a him. Did you all know that?
Yeah. No, but like I'm saying, like that whole thing of, do you think Hitler would have become Hitler if he grew up differently?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
his behavior had to have been learned.
Because
right, but the thing
is,
is,
Church of Philadelphia.
The thing is,
which is also known as the Great Persecution.
But what I'm saying, okay. Well, that's I think that's some good answers for it. Huh?
Take like a serial killer.
Right.
Put him in a different situation. I completely agree with you. It's like how, how do I say this without being dirty?
John Wayne Gacy. He dressed up as a clown and then kidnapped
the Mochos. The Mochos.
Oh.
If Mochos weren't fadiddled when they were child, then there's a better chance that they wouldn't do the fiddling.
That's true.
It's a long, strenuous process.
It's a learned behavior.
Because you literally can go down the line and follow it back. Mm-hmm. That's almost in every situation.
That's true.
The Mochos.
All right. I think we're ready for the next question.
Yeah. Who is Jesus? Okay. What is one area that you find?
The question was, who is someone you admire and want to be more like? Let's make this exclusively people who are 100% human and only 100% human, not 100% anything else. Because I feel like that's the natural answer, and that's now not saying it's wrong, but it's a boring answer. Is there boring answer. Because that's what most people who are like us are going to say. That's who most people who are like us are going to say. What? I'm trying to say that correctly, but what would
got it? You got it down.
To be more like, I don't know who I would. I don't know. I guess my parents.
I was gonna say my grandpa. He was cool. That's about it. All right, that wasn't too. The level 5 ones, the level 4 ones seem to be a little bit better.
They were deeper.
What's an area that you find yourself being overly critical of others?
Stupidities. People not having common sense. People not bearing common sense.
I know I'm overcritical of myself a lot.
Okay, well that wasn't the question.
But I'm so overcritical of myself that I don't really have time to be critical of others. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. That's a complete lie and fabrication, and I know it. But I don't know.
I'm just gonna leave it at other people being stupid. I would
agree with that. I would agree with that pretty heavily, actually. So let's see.
What is one area you've seen personal growth in?
I definitely think that my faith walk has improved significantly since March, as well as the fact that I've been being healthier, and my hygiene has gotten better, like significantly. What about for you?
I would say I've seen growth in the adulting aspect of life, like going out there and doing things.
Yeah.
In what ways do you feel you don't measure up?
I think I don't recognize enough all that God has done for me, all that he will do for me, and all that he's doing for me. I don't recognize that enough. Someone said it to me very eloquently during the show. Do not mourn the Holy Spirit. It's like, don't let it go to the backslide. And that's, I feel like I don't measure up in that aspect where I feel like I don't spend enough time with it, and I feel like I don't do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can agree with you
Ooh.
on that.
Whose opinions? Wait, did you have more of an answer for that? Or
No,
was that, or you just agree?
I just agree with
Okay.
you. Like,
You're standing in
understand.
agreement. Whose opinions about you matter the most? And we're going to make this mutually exclusive again.
Mutually exclusive. You could probably guess mine very easily. There's well, actually no, that's
Marley
okay.
and your parents.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
The rest you could all.
Gina, because
She's like.
Gina is very much of a mother figure for me, and she tells me like it is constantly, and
She does dish it out.
And
She does dish it
now
out right.
the only opinions of Gina that do not matter to me is whatever she says about my hair.
Ryan, you look like a skunk.
Because she told me not to do this. She told me not to shave my head. Well, not shave my head, but she told me not to get a buzz cut, and I went ahead and did it anyway.
You're rebellious.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Nice. Got him.
Got him.
What is one
Got him.
What is one significant criticism others have made about you?
I got it.
What? You're unbearable.
Yes, I've been described as unbearable, but a lot of people see me as like an a-hole,
Yeah.
which I can accept.
Like, people will see you as, like, kind of overly critical of them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's normally that falls under what I'm critical about people. I can't handle idiots, so I treat people like idiots when they act like idiots.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you? What's the question again?
The question is, what is one significant criticism others have made?
People have told me that I like things my way,
or the highway.
Like, I've
actually heard this.
I get
before.
somewhat upset when, or at least I show that when people are doing things off of how, because I'm the thing is, I'm a leader, but I'm a leader with what works for me. So I'm more of a director than a leader. You know what I mean? I like things the way that I want them, and I'm very hypocritical in that, where I don't want people to have it their way. I want it my way. And I have I struggle with that a lot.
The director comes out.
Yeah.
It's funny. What is one question you wish someone could tell you the answer to? I don't wish to know what my questions are.
What is one question you wish someone could tell you the answer to?
I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah. Yes, there you go. Loop, what choices do you find yourself making that are out of sync with what matters most to you?
Falling back into the things that I know I shouldn't be doing.
There you go. That's a good question.
Just any like sinful behavior that I know is wrong, and I say it's like I'm not gonna
do it.
Do this anymore.
Not gonna do it.
And then I do.
Does it?
And then bada bing, bada boom.
It happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Like you say, we're all sin.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Jesus is never gonna get to that point where it's like no matter how many times I forgive you, you just keep going back. It's like no matter what I do, it seems like nothing ever gets through to you.
Till I die.
Yeah.
Till I die. All the cameras let you know until I die.
That one's an easy one. That one's too easy.
Wait. Go
What?
back.
What?
Go back. You just completely skipped the last question.
Oh, that's true. So, how do you personally determine if something is right and wrong? Well, I have my own personal moral compass
I am
that acts like within what the Bible has set out. And I have my own like personal morals on top of that, like things that I won't do that aren't like explicitly mentioned and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I see like almost everything in black and white.
I see the world as one big gray blob.
I don't.
Yeah, no, I know you very much see things in black and white.
Yeah.
I am always fighting for the middle ground, where it's like I could see how someone could perceive that as being the right thing to do, whereas I still personally think it was wrong, but I understand where they're coming from. Basically, don't be, how do I say this without swearing? Don't be a D word. Just don't be mean to people. Don't be a bad person. Like, that's...
Find the purpose in life.
No, that's the last question right there. We've got one more question. And just before we hit the 2-hour mark,
which makes this officially the longest podcast.
Yeah,
well,
we thought the one earlier tonight was going to be the longest one, but that's not true.
Hey, when we said we're going to be milking the content for me being here, we milk the content.
Yeah.
If someone asked you what you believe life is all about, what would you say?
Well, I mean, for us, it's fairly simple.
Yeah.
But on top of that, there's so much more, because there's what we're called to do, but then there's what our personal feelings are about what we want to do and what we feel is our purpose that we have outside of the purpose that we already know for a fact we're called for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so we
have our spiritual purpose, which is to spread the good news.
Like in Mark chapter 16, Jesus gives the Great Commission, where the last time that we see Jesus before he ascends, he tells us exactly what we need to do. We need to go out into the world, make disciples, lay hands on people, heal the sick, evangelize, prophesy in his name, and all that, which way and the other. But then aside from that, life is about family
and
faith.
Friends.
Because family isn't just who you're related to.
It's your brothers and sisters
family
in
is
Christ.
your kinfolk.
Kinfolk are people who you're related to.
Family is like who you consider to be family. You don't need to be blood related to somebody, which we're all blood related, but you don't need to be closely blood related to somebody to consider them family. I mean, like, you and Marley aren't blood related, but you will be literally more than literally family.
And the law of the land.
as a matter of law. So, yeah.
Wow, that was a deep episode.
That was the well-known pocket guide.
Well-known
for
pocket
greater
guide
conversation.
challenge. That's what we just had. We just had a greater conversation with you guys.
I think this was our best episode we've ever had.
Wow.
I'm going to go right out the gate and say it right now.
I'm going to have to let it simmer until morning.
I don't know if I
think
need
we're
to
going
let
to
it
discuss
simmer.
more about it over breakfast in about 4 hours here, 5 hours, 6 hours.
Well, I have just about completely filled up my computer because this is a 92 gigabyte file, it looks like. Luckily, I have a full terabyte on there, and I just cleared out about 900 gigabytes recently.
Well, thank goodness.
With that being said, I don't think that there is much more for us to say.
Except for thanks for listening.
Thanks for. I'm sure I might cut up some of this and have each section. You know what I might do? I might upload.
Just post it in sections.
I might upload on Spotify alone. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. I'll post them all the same day, but it'll be like this is episode 28. It's like all these.
Yeah.
And I'll have them all released at the same time. I think that might be smart. But
it's pretty juicy.
So, with that being said, I really hope that you enjoyed this because it is it's 3 a.m. This is the latest that we've ever been doing this, and we still have to clean up. So
wish us luck.
Yeah, wish us luck. If you enjoyed this type of content, if you like stuff like this about when we get into the deeper conversation and all that, make sure that you like, subscribe, and of course, follow us on all of our social medias at the Pickle Jar Pod. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, on iTunes, on Amazon Music,
Audible,
Deezer, Google Podcasts.
I just learned about Deezer.
Yeah, and then also on top of that, if you could leave us a 5-star rating or a review on iTunes, that would also be greatly appreciated because that really helps the podcast grow. Make sure that you check out the bite-sized episodes. We're releasing those fairly often, hopefully every Thursday from here on out.
Yes.
Otherwise, I don't have anything else to say.
Nor do I.
Thank you very much for listening.
Yes.
I have been Ryan Sullivan.
And I've been Keaton Ryan. And I wish you a great night.
Great night. We will see you for one more live episode.
One more.
For the time being.